Welcome once again to our morning devotions, experiencing God through the seasons of life. Our reading this morning is coming from the book of Luke chapter 4 verses 25 and 26. And the title of our devotion is Handpicked. I will read in your hearing. But I tell you of a truth, many widows were in Israel in the days of Elias, when the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months, when great famine was throughout all the land. But unto none of them was Elias sent, save unto Sarepta, a city of Sidon, unto a woman that was a widow. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of His word. This is a very interesting story where we meet a woman who is not even an Israelite, and where we meet a prophet who is also running away from a very cruel queen. And the combination of these two is a story within a story again. This woman is in a land where God is not known. And God sends this prophet to this woman according to the text that we've just read. And you wonder why she has been handpicked for this special favor. The Bible has clearly stated that there were many widows in Israel, but unto none of them was the prophet sent. Wow, what a favor. Despite your relationship with him, if God wants to be known, because if we read from the first book of Kings, chapter 17, the whole story, right at the end, we'll see this woman will say, now that I know that you are a man of God. What we also need to realize is that God is no selector of persons. His favor belongs to everyone. And His favor is the one that will show us who He really is. This woman was handpicked. And when we meet her, she is by the city gate picking 2 sticks to cook her last meal. And when the prophet asks for some water to drink, as she is about to go to get the water, the prophet asks for some more. He needs bread. He has been on a long journey. And the prophet carries a special instruction for this widow to say he was going to be kept by this widow. What I don't know is whether the lady had also received the instruction. But what I know is that this woman didn't realize it then that here was her solution. And the prophet had come right on time. He comes through for us. And for this widow, his word is true. To say that he is husband, he is defender. When this woman needed, when she had come to a last, when she had diminished all her resources, God comes through for her. And I know for a fact that God will never allow our situations to go beyond what we can bear. He says your bread and water will be sure. And I'm sure there are so many women or widows who can relate with this promise. God has been true. His promises are so true. I can relate in so many ways. There have been so many times where I've come to the end of my rope and I've almost given up. And initially, I used to say when I ran out of resources, I would look for people. I would go to friends. I would go to relatives. I would cry. I would wonder why. And I would mourn about why my husband had been taken away. Now I can't do this. Now I can't afford that. Until there came a time when I realized, no, I think I've overasked. I've outasked I've burdened my relatives. I've burdened my friends. No one owes me anything. This is God's business. He has allowed my husband to sleep. And I said, Lord, from today on, I'm going to close my doors. I'm going to stand on this promise. If it doesn't come true for me, then it's okay. I'm prepared to die with my children. And tell you what, from that moment, that's when I realized that God has always been faithful. He has not assigned people to look after us. No one owes us anything. If people are going to they're doing their assignment for God, not because we have burdened them. I realize that our blessings come neither from the east nor from the west, but they come from the Lord. And I learned from that moment that I should go to God. And no matter how hard, no matter how difficult, before our situations are disasters, the Lord has always come through. And I'm sure there are a lot of testimonies where the Lord has blessed us. And I also want to believe there is someone somewhere in this lockdown who doesn't know where their next meal is going to come from, who doesn't know who to turn to, who doesn't know how to go about asking. People are locked. This COVID-19 thing has isolated people, and there are some who are suffering in silence. I want you to know God has a way. God will provide a way. God will send some angels. God will send someone before your situation is a disaster. I want you to know that He is dependable. You can trust Him with your situation. He will send someone. And that someone might look like someone who needs something from us, but they have come with our solutions. May the Lord bless you, encourage you. May you know that you are never abandoned. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are. God cares for all His creation. This woman was not even in Israel. Imagine the favor of God sending someone from all that far to just bring her food. May the Lord bless us. As we look at this woman's story tomorrow, we want to see how she was favored and what was needed from her to receive a favor.